Healthy Rebel Radio is sponsored by the Healthy Rebel app. 300 plus secretly healthy, delicious, mouth-watering dessert and treat recipes made with all-natural, whole food ingredients. Now available for download on the App Store and Google Play. Find out more details at healthyrebel.com.
Welcome to Healthy Rebel Radio. I'm your host, Dr. David Deiser. I'm here with my Damie Health Healthy Rebel co-founder, Amy Lane. Good morning.
Good morning.
Just a few health and wellness stories to go through today. We've got some really interesting stuff going on. Number one is a story from Playboy magazine. Now, this isn't normally a magazine that I read, but the article was on, obviously, Business Insider.
Well, everyone only gets it for the articles.
Of course.
I mean, come on.
Come on.
Uh-huh.
Well, I did hear they made a shift from the old school Playboy to now it's like all articles.
Now you seem like you know way too much
Oh my
of it.
God.
Now you're over.
I really do.
You're overeducated about Playboy.
I believe I read that on Business Insider as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is a story from BusinessInsider.com about a story in Playboy magazine. It's the chief futurist from Google. Very cool guy. That's his title, Chief Futurist.
Wow, that's neat.
And he's saying that he believes by the year 2045, humans will start to live forever. Okay.
Why?
Because that technology will catch up with the ability to prolong life. Like longevity research will come to a head at 2045. Just based on how quickly computers have gotten smaller and smaller and smaller, and how they've gotten smarter and smarter and smarter. Eventually, by that point, we'll have nanotechnology where technology can go in. Some type of computer can go into the body and heal disease. Like we saw a sci-fi movie like this a couple of years ago. Remember that?
Mm. Yeah, I feel like it's taking out the whole human element of, and maybe the mental emotional. Sorry, I can't find the word.
Okay.
Connection between my brain has not been working this week. That's a real side effect that's been going on. Here in the, I guess, halfway point. But anyway, the connection between dis-ease and then manifesting as disease in the body. And, there's a lot of a mental, emotional connection. I've witnessed it myself. I've witnessed people have, emotional disturbances or, patterns of thinking or anxiety or whatever, and manifest a physical illness. So I don't understand how a computer chip would so then it's going to alter also our personalities, and just without resolving emotions, it's just going to cure that, and we're just going to have a healthy body, but then this really unhealthy mind. I don't think it's possible.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I don't think it's possible. So I think that it's, mechanicalizing the body. And I understand that there's like a place for that, but this is kind of like taking the whole soul, mental, emotional experience out.
For sure, yeah. I guess you're right. The idea would be that the body could live forever. Like it could. This
that
nanotechnology.
Sounds like hell.
We already have technology that has been able to distribute drugs in specific areas. The most recent one is the nanotechnology that's using magnets. So basically, the computer goes in, but it's magnetized. So you can put the magnet wherever you want on the body, and the chip will go to that area and release drugs. Mm-hmm. But you're right. That takes out the whole mental, emotional component of living.
And that sounds like a prison of hell. Like, ask any person that's, I'm sure, like, in prison that's physically fine. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They're not. I'm sure their dream isn't to live there for 100 years. Like, oh, I can live longer? That'd be amazing. Like, no. Like, quality of life is just so important. Mm-hmm. And that starts with your perception.
Unless these nanobots could go in and change your DNA.
So then what are we?
That tells you to be positive all the time.
So then we're not humans, because our whole thing is to heal our wounds.
Well, maybe that's...
To actively heal our wounds. To actually go there to correct what's going on. I really do believe that. And if you just that's when people are, we say midlife crisis. Yeah. No, that's when all your shit comes up you didn't deal with.
Right.
And you're like, oh my gosh. Like, oh no, I dealt with that fine back then. I didn't think about it. Like, you shove stuff down and you never deal with it. And then all of a sudden, all this stuff comes up at once. You can't pour whipped cream on garbage and call it a sundae. We talk about this all the time. You can't do it.
I love that. It's true.
You have to deal with it. So, no, I think that all sounds scary and mechanical and not human. And
I suppose that's the difference, isn't it? What maybe the key to longevity is to not be human anymore.
Don't start with me.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Yeah, no, you bring up really good points. I'll get you a meeting with the chief futurist at Google.
Yes, please do. I'm sure he'd be very interested
in what he has to say about that.
I don't think they care. I'm
sure it's some genetic switch that would just create positive humans at that point, because you can't just be mentally
miserable and then your
body's like in perfect health,
and it just keeps correcting and correcting and correcting every single day.
He currently believes that by the year 2029 we're going to live at least one extra year based on how science is progressing for every year left of of the current life expectancy, and then by 2045 it'll hit a peak. It's the term is called singularity when humans and technology becomes smart enough to guide the way that future
I think it would just give birth to a whole nother way of dying.
Mm-hmm.
And it would
be... No, it's true.
there'd be like a new cancer, but it wouldn't be cancer. It would just be all of a sudden you're walking along one day and your body just done.
Yeah, right.
Because there's no way that you could... I don't think. I mean, what do I know? I don't know. This is just my opinion.
The next story we have today is the increase in anaphylaxis among children in Canada. The anaphylaxis is an allergic reaction to foods or insect stings or something like that.
I think we associate it highly with like peanuts.
Peanuts, yes. Number one is peanuts.
It's rising?
In Canada, in the last 4 years, the visits to the emergency room for anaphylaxis has doubled.
No way. That surprises me.
And the prevalence of peanuts and tree nuts is like 100%. Not 100%, but it's really, really high. It's mostly peanuts, basically. So what is causing kids' immune systems to be so reactive to peanuts? We have to figure this out. But it's really interesting. It's literally doubled in 4 years, which is so fast.
That's really bizarre.
Mm-hmm. So something's changed either in the peanuts or in the immune systems, in our immune systems, that says this is not okay. This is something we have to protect ourselves from, because we have these in our immune system. We have the immune system recognizes self, it recognizes non-self, and then it recognizes non-self that's okay, and that would be food. Currently, in many kids, it's recognizing peanuts as being absolute non-self and having an instant reaction.
That's really weird. So, do you think it's the mold?
It could, well...
Because they say that most peanuts are diseased,
they have mold, exactly.
That we consume.
So, that's triggering the immune system in some way, in some sort of allergic reaction.
This is one of my major blind spots. People yell at me all the time online that I consume peanut butter. Like, they'll be like, I thought you're healthy. And I do. It's an area where... Because I was raised by a parent that absolutely loved peanut butter. And it's like a very comforting... Like, I mean, I don't have it every single day. I mean, for the first... I mean, we do have it on rotation in our home.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't ever take an issue with it. And I'm someone that's very sensitive within my body. And I know when, if I have something... I can, like, I had some sugar by accident the other day.
By accident? It just creeped in.
Well, kind of. But it was, I wasn't thinking, but anyway, there was sugar in something. I ate it, and I woke up the next day, and the right side of my throat is sore, and I have a lymph node that's swollen, and a pimple on the lymph node.
Holy smokes.
Like, that's how intense my reaction is. So I notice these things, and I don't have any reaction with peanut butter. But I understand what people are saying, and I've looked into it, and I get it. Mm-hmm. It's scary. But, like, we all have to understand that nuts, the way that we consume them, is not the way the nuts are. Mm-hmm. Anyway. There's, like, a lot of stuff goes on. They're extremely dehydrated by the time we get our hands on them. Because nuts are, in nature, mainly water and fiber.
Right.
They're not a high-fat, dense thing. They're completely different consistency. So if we were actually eating them out of nature, we would be able to consume much less of them. Mm-hmm. So we do eat probably way too much.
That's interesting,
yeah. So that's a true thing. But about peanuts, I mean, do you think it's the mold?
Well, yeah. I mean, most likely it's some sort of spray or
the pesticides now they're trying to use to get rid of the mold. Yeah,
exactly.
That's right.
Or it's literally the fact that our immune systems have been changed because our microbiome has changed because we're on antibiotics so much.
But why just peanuts? Why would that happen just with peanuts? Feels like something's changed with the peanuts.
Yeah, I mean, all signs point to it's the peanuts. that has something different about them, for sure. But the immune systems of humans have been reactive to peanuts in this way for quite a while. It's increasing the prevalence. Mm. So, whether it's dysbiosis in the digestive tract or whether it's something to do actually with the peanuts, allergies are increasing. It's scary. And it's a dangerous one, right?
Yeah, it's really scary.
It really is.
Allergies of children are scary, period.
It's true. And the use of epinephrine EpiPens at home was actually reduced. Like, there's the knowledge about what to do in that situation is quite low when your child hasn't reacted before. Right? You don't know what to do. It's never happened.
I'm sure people panic.
Oh, definitely.
I would.
So it's mostly in hospital that kids are getting the medicine they need. Yeah. This next one here today is about sleep. So another really, really good sleep study, 2016, all about sleep.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop. This one was assessing cholesterol metabolites and metabolites of actual cholesterol processing by the body post-sleep. And it's looking at huge populations, and it says that as we have lack of sleep, if we have poor sleep, we process cholesterol poorly. And what that means is, in this exact case, what they found was HDL, the good cholesterol, was lowered, and bad cholesterol was raised, putting people at a higher risk for cardiovascular disease. And in fact, this could cause weight gain as well. But really putting a lot of stress on the blood vessels for people who are having poor sleep. Wow. Which is interesting because sleep also increases, lack of sleep also increases stress, which is really hard on the blood vessels and hard on the heart. We know that lack of sleep reduces metabolism in general, so you can gain weight easier, which is also hard on the heart, causing obesity, and then, of course, subsequent increased risk of cardiovascular disease. So sleep is just incredibly important for heart health. This must make you excited. I mean, this has been your year.
I know. Sleeping, drinking water, eating vegetables, all the cool stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So one of the ways to reduce bad cholesterol is to get good sleeps.
That's really great advice, isn't it?
And I mean, as we're talking about longevity more and more, and we're talking about anti-aging type things, or just optimal wellness so that you have great quality of life into old age, one of the core things is having good sleeps. And sometimes, I mean, with our modern society, people are really pushing it, I'm finding.
I know.
And trying to reduce their sleep more and more, get more done.
Well, and I was just going to say, like, I can hear the ego that would come up right away when you say get more sleep. People are going to say, I can't. There's only so much time in a day. I have this, that. But then my advice is always then focus on quality. Yes. And as you focus on quality, you will realize that you will understand that you need more, and you will find more. It's whatever is important to you, you'll find more. It's true. You'll find the time.
If you have not tried blackout blinds, you are literally missing out.
If you haven't taken technology out of your room, taken caffeine out of your diet past, I'd say 2 p.m. For most people, you're different. You can have a little more, but anyway, past 2. Okay, so no caffeine past 2. No technology in your room. No added light in your room. Blackout blinds and quiet. It's a game changer.
It is a game changer, definitely. And now we know it's going to be protective against heart disease.
I mean, there's just so much motivation to have a great night's sleep.
Oh, it's true.
The motivation is there.
I mean, with regards to weight loss, cancer prevention, all these
optimal
things.
Being.
Reducing stress, everything.
Cognitive function.
That's right, focus.
Hormonal health.
I mean, today also I was reading a study about cancer prevalence and we've been talking a lot about reducing cancer or reducing the risk of cancer recently, and sleep is another one where it's such a key component of optimal health that it's just really important. Yeah, you can't miss out on sleep. So cardiovascular disease, reducing your risk by getting good night's sleeps. I didn't know that the prevalence was. I didn't know the mechanism, and it's this cholesterol metabolism. So people who are coming back with a poor risk ratio or a poor ratio of LDL to HDL, or good cholesterol, bad cholesterol to total cholesterol, all these different ratios that we calculate, you can make positive changes by getting good night's sleeps. And we're doing. And we've been talking about this one more time. I want to recommend exercise for sleep.
Oh yeah.
It's so important. So people are missing out on that one key thing. which I'm finding to be extremely helpful. I mean, the body needs to be fatigued. It's really helpful for cortisol metabolism because it's your stress hormone. When you exercise, you help the regulation of this cortisol hormone.
And under the bracket of exercise, it can be just going for a walk.
It really
can. It doesn't have to be a big ordeal. And plus, with that, you get the connection to nature. And again, you have a better chance of reducing your anxiety and connecting more to what's important and recalibrating your focus. It's a real gift that keeps giving.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's all we have for today. That's Healthy Rebel Radio. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great day.
See you.
Healthy Rebel Radio is presented by the online health and wellness center, DamiHealth.com. Since 2009, Amy Lane has successfully coached thousands of women through her signature program, the Bikini Body Program. Join today to work exclusively with Amy to unveil your greatest yet to be from the inside out. Go to DamiHealth.com for more information.
Thank you for listening to Healthy Rebel Radio. Please connect with us on our community pages on Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram, all at the handle @DamiHealth. For weekly recipes, articles, and all our episodes straight to your inbox, join our newsletter at damihealth.com. You can find all the links discussed in today's episode in the show notes. Thank you for joining us, and see you tomorrow.